One-term nerd. One-term nerd.
And we're here talking about the summer of scandal for Governor Snyder. I think it's very ironic that he is here with Christie, whose own office is still under federal investigations. I mean, I think this is just examples of what we do not need in an executive here in Michigan or in any state in the country.
I'm here today because Governor Snyder has destroyed funding for education. I saw it in my classroom last year, which was the last year I taught. It's amazing, just the destruction that it's caused. I mean, textbooks are falling apart. We privatized our custodial staff, and that's, you know, it's like one guy cleaning the whole building. There aren't enough cleaning supplies. Talking to other staff members, it's really just destroying public education. I've seen Governor Christie act on television. I've seen his act on videos, and the way he speaks to teachers is incredibly unprofessional. He yells at them, he bullies them. I mean, if that's who Rick Snyder wants to hang out with, then I think that tells us a lot about the content of his character. I think he's done a terrible job. I mean, we're 49th in job production. I mean, we gave this huge tax break to all these corporations, and it was supposed to create jobs. Right to work was supposed to make us more competitive. None of that's worked. Those were all lies meant to destroy the working class.
This is cool. Never had coffee with this much attention, man.
The people really care about the city and want to be part of the comeback that's already started, and that's really exciting for folks. And you'll look back a couple of years from now, there's people trying to elbow you out of the way because there's so much excitement down here. But you were the folks who originally helped to make all this happen. That's really good stuff. Really good stuff.
Well, that's the coolest part of what goes on here is the people that are down here want to be here. They want to make a difference. So, and a lot of people will follow afterward. But you guys are helping be the pioneers to make it happen.
Yeah. And we're very proud of what's going on. And the city's coming back and be out of bankruptcy hopefully in a couple months. And Kevin's going to stick on the bankruptcy. The city's going to get back to regular controls and good stuff. Yep. Stay on the gas.
Snyder, are you going to give him the big time tour of the city today?
Well, I wish there was more time, but he's getting it. Part of it was talking to the people, and that's what's exciting to see because it's the energy level. So I tell people it's wonderful, all the events we've had going on, all the announcements of the new activities, but the most important thing is how people are working together. And that's a whole different tone that didn't exist a few years ago. It's Detroit, Michigan. It's not Detroit versus Michigan.
Governor Snyder, yesterday one of my colleagues collapsed in City Hall with stroke-like symptoms. It took an ambulance almost half an hour to get there. This morning I was at a bridge collapse, and the man who died, I heard that it took 30 minutes for an ambulance to get there. What's your thought on ambulances still not getting to scenes quite as quickly as they need to be there?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a tragedy anytime that happens. You hate to see anyone get hurt, let alone the response time issue. It's improved a lot. We know that's happened in terms of more ambulances, more EMS. We just need to keep it up. And again, that's where I think it's great to have the mayor and city council, back running the city, because we've been a good partner in doing that. But I want to be a supportive partner with this transition to say, how do we get better services in the city? We've seen it in public safety in terms of police coverage. We need it on EMS. We need it in fire.
Well, Governor Snyder, are you surprised that the race has tightened up recently?
Well, again, the polls, the one that matters is November. And a lot of it is, it's great to see the response people we're getting now in terms of, I'm excited for the town halls. We're doing better and better every day. And it's large part overcoming bad information. Really, the lies that are out there. You see the sign about cutting school spending. That's absolutely wrong. I've increased education spending for K-12 by over $1 billion the last 3 years, and the last budget I signed is over $1 billion higher. So it's sad to see when in our political system people can just throw out bad information and try to convince people of it rather than getting the real facts. So that's why it's great to have a chance to go out and talk to our citizens. Let's make sure when you got the information, we should be proud. We've recovered strong and we're going to keep it up.
Governor Christie, there's been a lot more announcements in Detroit recently than there have been in a lot of years. We got the new stadium. We're exiting bankruptcy. Do you have anything you might like to announce?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But what I will say is that I'm so encouraged by the extraordinary work that Rick has done with the legislature and with the private sector here in Michigan. He had a big challenge on his hands when he got here 4 years ago, and he has just been dogged in making sure that those announcements happen. They didn't happen by accident or by magic. They happened in partnership with his legislature, with the private sector, who all wanted to come together to try to make sure that things here in Detroit are going to continue on the upswing. So people should understand here in Michigan, nothing ever happens by accident. No announcement happens by accident, whether it's by me or by Governor Snyder.
I think my colleague might have been referring to a certain presidential race.
Yeah, that was not lost upon me. It was not lost upon me. But no, I have nothing to say about that. I'm here to campaign for Rick Snyder. And I think one of the great things Rick has done is to be realistic and to be honest with the people of Michigan about what the problems are and what the solutions are going to cost. So I think Detroit is a great example for the rest of the country about two things: what not to do to get yourself in that situation, and then what to do to get yourself out of that situation. I think Detroit has been a good example on both ends, and I try to use it in my state and in other places around the country as a great example of what leadership can do. And a lack of leadership can lead you to get into that kind of situation. And now the leadership that Rick and others around the state have provided are helping Detroit get out of that situation. That's really good news. Thanks, everybody.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.